What's up, guys? Welcome to your Adventure Compass. I know we have a lot of new subscribers since the last video, but today's video we're getting back to the adventures, back to what this channel is all about. And I want to invite you guys to come along with us for this interesting road trip adventure. Starting out today's video, we're here in downtown Howell, and there's a monument down here that is for all the veterans. This side says a tribute to the heroic veterans that served our country in World War I. And they've got a list of names here. We've also got a couple of flags on either side. And I know from time to time they do different events down here on Memorial Day and on Veterans Day. You can see they have the plaques. These look new. I don't know that I recall seeing these before. They've got the Coast Guard and the Navy, and then there's more over here. There's the Army and the Marines. Oh, check this out, Space Force. I don't think anybody's died in service of Space Force yet, but you got that as well. And of course, the Air Force as well. And we're going to check out the other side of this memorial here. And there's also World War II on this side. We have the Vietnam War and the Korean War. And I believe that, actually, also I just noticed this too, Iraq War and Afghanistan War. I believe these are all people from the local Howell area that died serving our country. Now, that's not one of our stops. That was just something I thought I would point out since we're starting out down here. I do have something to take care of, some unfinished business from our last video, so we got to do that first. Let's head over to the post office. All right, we've arrived at the post office, and if you're wondering, Big the Foot is going out today. It's Saturday, March 21st. I don't usually put the date in my videos, but if you guys are wondering, these are going out today. Look for an envelope coming in the mail, hopefully within the next 7 days or so from me. If you went online and you paid to have one of these shipped to you by buying me a coffee, they're here. So they're going out today, Saturday, March 21st. Should probably mention that there's a literal ton of you from all over. By the way, I had to buy postage from that machine because the listing online was wrong. They are closed. So I was able to get postage either way. So yeah, it says right here they close at 2:15, and online that is not what it said. So let's put these. There they go. All right, guys, there you have it. Big the Foot is in the mail. He is on the way to you. And now let's get this adventure started. We got a little bit of a drive. Our first stop is about 45 minutes away. This entire road trip that we're going to be taking is about 2.5 hours. Now, our first stop has us headed to Leslie, Michigan. I don't know that I've ever been there. If I have, I don't really remember what is there, what it's like. I did originally plan on doing this video on Monday, which was a big mistake. I planned on doing it Monday, but I planned that out the week before, like early in the week, like right after I put the last video out. I'm going to do that video on Monday, maybe even on Sunday. And guess what? Sunday through Monday, we had a huge blizzard. I know the last video was 70 degrees. We got huge blizzard, ice and snow. Up in the UP, they had record snowfall. The Mackinac Bridge was actually closed because of that, and it's just been crazy. The weather's been on and off. Today we're at 51 degrees, which is just comfortable. I like weather like this. A nice spring day, early spring day. But yeah, Monday was not going to work, and unfortunately the rest of my week was busy with other jobs, so kind of taking a back road. That's the way Google has me routed here, not taking the freeway, and I think it's probably a good idea. Nice scenic route for today. Going to pass by a lot of farmland, some different barns and things, and some old roadside history that you just don't see when you're traveling the freeways these days. Over here there's a farm, and I know that they sell different produce in the summertime. I have not actually been through here. They do have a lot of construction vehicles too, so I'm not sure what all they're into, but they have a lot of different things going on here. It's Munsell Farms. I believe they have apples and things like that, and pumpkins, and there's a big chicken there too. Did you see it? More farmland. It's kind of all around me here, everywhere I look. Farmland here. Some barns up here. And over on the other side, some fields. Look at that. Got some cows in there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Probably one of the most popular crops grown here in Michigan that I see is corn. Grow a lot of corn here. There's other things, but I would say it's mostly corn. Well, our first stop today brings us to Leslie, Michigan, and we are at Woodlawn Cemetery, another cemetery. We're here to see the grave of somebody who you've probably seen before, but you might not know who he was. Right here in Woodlawn Cemetery in Leslie, Michigan, is the grave of Frank L. White. And while you might not know who Frank L. White is, you might recognize that photo. He was the face of Cream of Wheat, the famous breakfast cereal that was very popular in the 70s and 80s, and still is to this day, I believe. Now, Frank White did not create Cream of Wheat. He was only the face man. Cream of Wheat was actually invented by a miller in the Minnesota area by the name of Tom Amadon. And he created this and wanted to bring it home to his family. It was the byproduct of creating flour. And he begged and pleaded to send a box or a couple boxes of this along to New York for people to try. And they did. They sent it. And he actually created the cardboard boxes for the first 10 boxes, shipped it along to New York. And guess what? Their response was, forget the flour, send us a train load of that Cream of Wheat stuff. So while Frank White did not create Cream of Wheat, he was the face man and helped sell a ton of Cream of Wheat. He was kind of discovered as a chef. He was a professional chef in the Chicago area at the time, and they used his photo on the Cream of Wheat box, and the next thing you know, boom, it was selling everywhere. Now, Frank White grew up in the Leslie, Michigan area. He also retired here, and he was an avid hunter and enjoyed the Michigan lifestyle. And guys, if you're not familiar with Cream of Wheat, I'll insert a photo right here so you can see what it looks like. It's a creamy, if you've ever had Malt-O-Meal, cocoa wheats, same thing. It's the original. It was around before Malt-O-Meal, before cocoa wheats and all that stuff. And I still to this day do enjoy a nice bowl of Cream of Wheat. When I was originally walking over to the gravesite, which is quite a ways over there. In fact, if you see that little mound over there off in the distance, it's not too far from that. But as I was walking that way, I passed this flagpole and I thought, oh, that's probably some sort of memorial for the vets or something. It's not what I'm looking for, but sure enough, it was what I was looking for. So never doubt yourself. They have an entire map of the cemetery right here. And if you're looking to find somebody that's in here, they have it all digital. It's a QR code, so you can just look it up and find out where to find them. I actually found that information online. It took me a while, but I thought that I was in the right spot having come in over in this area, but in fact, there's an old entrance over here that's more of a gravel road, and it's over off of that one. Well, we've got to keep going because our next stop is taking us to Mason, Michigan. So let's get back in the car and head on our road trip. So our second stop today brings us to the small town of Mason. And there's some cool stuff here. We're going to take a look at one item, but it's something I wanted to point out real quick. Let me turn the camera around so you can see it. If you look over in the distance there, you can probably see that steeple, that tower there. I don't know if that's their old courthouse or their old city hall or what it is, but I drove past that on the way down here, and let me tell you, that's a pretty magnificent building. We're going to drive by and take a better look at it. But first, we're here to check something else out. Right here out in front of the new City Hall in Mason is these amazing wooden soldiers. And we're going to take a look at each one. There is a plaque for each one. This one says Revolutionary War. Each one of these represents a soldier from the area that served in that war. This would be the soldier that served in the Revolutionary War. They're all carved out of wood. I don't know if these are chainsaw created or how they're done. It's pretty cool though. And apparently these were done in 2013. They are, a few of them are starting to rot out a little bit over the years, you know, weather-wise. They don't hold up forever. And they are replacing them with new ones as they rot out. And our next one here, all right, our next one says the War of 1812. Check this one out. Look at that hat. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit so you guys can see these in more detail. You can tell there's some cracks forming, and over time they are starting to age. But there's a lot of detail on these. I don't know if these were carved by a chainsaw, because there is a lot of detail. Maybe they were started with a chainsaw and then finished up by hand, because there's a lot of detail. And if they got all this detail with a chainsaw, then wow. Next up, this soldier's from the Civil War. You can see his hat up there, the crisscrossed rifles. And he's also carrying a musket or a rifle. I'm not sure which. It's wood, so it's hard to tell. That's number 3. Over here, this one says World War I. And over here we have a sailor. You can tell because he's got that scarf around his neck, and that hat definitely says sailor. And he looks to be in probably the worst shape so far. Oh yeah, look, if you look closely, his arm is rotting out, and he's got a big crack in his head. Yeah, these had to be hand carved. Look at the facial features on that. Yeah, he's probably going to need to be replaced soon. Separating the first 4 and the last 4, we have the American flag. You can tell it's kind of a breezy day today too. And next up is World War II. And here, you know, I hate to say it, I don't know all of the armed forces. I don't know if she's Army or Marines. I can't tell, but there's an emblem on her hat. It's our first woman, by the way. And this one looks to be in pretty good shape. I mean, there's some discoloration, but it looks like it's really well preserved. This one's shellacked well. There is a crack in the hat and the face, but it looks like it's got a lot of coating on it, maybe to preserve it a little bit longer. But yeah, it's in pretty decent shape. Just to show you guys the others down there. And let's see who's next. All right, next is the Korean War. And I'm gonna assume just from the goggles, the helmet, and the face breathing apparatus that is on this gentleman, that this is someone from the Air Force. That's my best guess. Now, unlike the last one, this has almost no coating whatsoever on it. I don't know if the wood was treated. He does have a pistol in his case there on the front. Probably have to get a view from this angle. I don't want to film towards the sun. You guys won't be able to see him. Yeah, he's pretty cool too. This might be a newer one. They said that some of them had already rotted out and been replaced. So this might be one that's already been replaced. Could very well be. And number 7 is the Vietnam War. Right here. This gentleman here, ready to fight through the brush, as you can see that he's in here. He's got his weapon with him, and wearing kind of a, I don't know what those hats are called. I don't want to call it a safari hat, whatever you want to call it. It's one that you wear for the heat. It's got a wider brim around it, and it's usually soft to keep you cool. You notice his sleeves. He's the only one so far who's had short sleeves on because it was very hot in Vietnam. And last is the Iraq-Afghanistan War. This one looks a little more modern. You can see he's got his helmet on. He's got a vest, tactical vest of some sort. Knee pads. Oh yeah, he's rotting out pretty bad here in the leg, you can see. And so this one's probably going to have to get replaced soon. And it looks like half of his weapon is missing. The front barrel there is gone. Very similar to the one this gentleman's carrying over here, but missing the front portion of it. Oh, and I just noticed there are big holes, big gaping holes inside of him. I wonder if woodpeckers got in there. Usually something like that happens. It's not natural. This looks almost like possibly some bugs or something. I can't say for sure. I don't know enough about wood to tell you the truth here. It's a shame because this one's kind of cool. It's even got the blocks like he's standing against a wall. But yeah, there you go. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, the flag, and then 4 more down that way. 8 wooden soldiers here in Mason, Michigan. Kind of a neat way to honor all those who fought and protected our country. Now our next stop is going to be in Weberville, but before we head there, I think I'm going to take a little drive down a block so I can show you guys their old city hall or whatever this building is, because it's really cool looking. All right, headed down towards there, and I just noticed there's a Mason library. Looks like a historical building of some sort, and there is a marker. They have a historical marker on the outside of the building. Let's see what it says. Ingham County Historical Marker. The city of Mason became the county seat to Ingham County in 1840 and is the only site in the nation where the state capital is not located in its county seat. And headed up to the corner here. And coming around the corner, you can see it. This is a pretty extravagant building. The downtown area here in Mason, pretty small. Pretty, got that old town feel to it. Some little shops, very old historic buildings. And then we have this. And just like we have in my hometown, they also have a memorial for all their veterans here. Very similar. But let's take a look here at this building. There is a sign in front. I don't know if it's going to tell us much. This is a lot more detailed than the one that we have in Howell. It looks bigger. I would say it's at least 25% wider and possibly an extra story high. This is actually the courthouse, Ingham County Courthouse, and that's what the one in Howell used to be. Now it's just for records and things like that. We have a separate courthouse that's newer. But yeah, this is a pretty cool building. Love the detail and the work on it. And there is a historical plaque here talking about the county courthouse. I'm not gonna read it to you. You guys can pause the screen if you want to read all that. Over here on this corner of the lawn of the courthouse, they have a giant cannon. It says presented by USA 1900. That's some, I don't know if those are real cannonballs or if they're just metal balls that they've cemented in place. And then there's a smaller cannon. This one looks honestly more authentic, I guess. I don't know, maybe the other one's newer. It does have some information on it, yes. Presented by the citizens of Rembios, Cuba. So yeah, this is an actual cannon. I don't know about the other one. If it is, it's newer. And it does have some markings on the front. So yeah, this is probably the real thing. Probably a lot newer though. Pretty cool. I'm glad I came over here. Over across the street from the courthouse is Ware's Pharmacy. Look at that old looking sign. It's hard to believe there's any pharmacies, little pharmacies like that still open. And CVS and all those locations, your Meijer and your Kroger and all those. You'd think that there wouldn't be any of those left. It's an ice cream place across there called the Daily Scoop. And then, I don't know if it's still open, but the Vault Delicatessen. All right, guys, now we can head over to Weberville. Got one last thing to check out. Well, guys, we have arrived in Weberville, Michigan, and if you can see behind me, there's a store here. And I think that this attraction is gone. It used to be right where I'm standing. I looked it up, and it says it was here. There was no notifications that it's been removed. I don't know if they take it down for the seasons. There was a sculpture that was supposed to be right here on this corner where I'm standing, and it is not here. You can see the remnants here of what used to be something right here on this corner in front of this store. Right here is Scrap Metal Mr. Wheeler, right in front of the party store. You can see the picture right here on my phone. And you can see where he was, but he's not here now. So according to the article here, small robot-like likeness of town good guy William Weaver. Sculptor was Bill Brum, worked on it for over 2 years. And it says Weaver saw its unveiling just before he died at the end of June 2021. It does not say anything about the sculpture being removed or missing or put away, but it's not here now. Oddly enough, what is here is this unmarked little diner that seems to be full of people. They do have takeout, and it's kind of decorated like a cow. Kind of curious to know what that is since it's not marked and there's no signage. Well, just across the street from the party store, I noticed this park. So I thought I'd come check this out since Mr. Mechanical Wheeler guy is not here anymore. Got a Blue Star Memorial. This is apparently a memorial to the armed forces, all those that have served our country. There's also a plaque down here. Hard to read. It talks about the donors. But this looks like just a little garden style planter type thing. Some flowers in the middle and a star. And then there's a gazebo over here. Thought we'd check this out as well. This looks like, let's see, and that's talking about the garden. And it looks like the gazebo is dedicated by the Lions Club here. Just a small, tiny little park. Come inside and look around here. Some little fence areas back there. Kind of odd to have these little fence sections, but 3 little fence sections. Village of Weberville Lions Club. And I believe there's also a library box here, one of those places where you can come out and take a book and leave a book and that type of stuff. Yeah, there's a bunch of them in here, full of all kinds of books. Well, guys, unfortunately, our last stop was a bus today. That happens sometimes. I'll be sure to let them know, the website, I think it's Roadside America, I'll let them know that it's no longer here. But I wanted to tell you, I hope you enjoy the content that I put out. If you're new here, this is the type of stuff I normally do. We do theme parks, we do roadside attractions. I look for unique, interesting pieces of Americana and fun stuff like that I can show you guys. Places that you might actually be able to go to that I can show you. If you'd like to help this channel out, you can always buy me a coffee. If you look at the video description for this video, you'll see buy me a coffee link. You can always buy me a coffee if you'd like to help support the channel. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a big thumbs up. Click on that compass to get subscribed so you can see more awesome content like this. And remember, adventure is just a short drive away.